What's going on, guys? So I made a video a while ago on how to stance vanilla beam cars or stock beam cars. I showed you guys how to camber them, how to get good fitment, how to slam them on the ground, because obviously with stock Beamng, you can't slam cars on the ground. But a lot of you guys have been asking me, yo, Con man, how do I slam modded cars in Beamng? Because it's the same thing for the modded cars. You max out the suspension, you max out the camber, and you can still see the other side of the world underneath the car, and you only have like 5 degrees of camber, which is obviously not acceptable. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys the WJB method on how to slam and camber your modded cars in Beamng.Drive. Let's go. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to slam and camber. Hey guys, coming here. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to slam and camber modded cars in Beamng.Drive. Now, as you guys know, or maybe you probably have no idea about this, but a while ago, a couple months ago, I uploaded a video on how to slam and camber vanilla or stock Beamng cars within Beamng, and that was wide fab, just mods. But obviously, that does not work for modded cars within Beamng. There is a different method for that. I'm going to show you guys that method today. Right in front of me, we got an F80 M3 that does not have the method done to it. So the camber, it is not low, no camber, nothing. So obviously, wide fab does not work for modded cars. So, by the way, also, if you're watching this video,
make sure to subscribe down below. What are we doing? Like the video and subscribe down below. If you guys like the Beamng content, if you guys like the Roblox content, if you like both, if you don't like me, or if you like me, hit that subscribe button.
So I'm going to put the spring height all the way down, and obviously it is 0.06, and that is unacceptable. Put the camber all the way down, and obviously we're at almost no camber in the front and the rear. Completely maxed camber and completely maxed height. We're at about -5 all around. I can still see the whole entire other side of the world underneath this car, and we don't want that. You guys are probably saying, yo, turn the spring rate down. I could do the spring rate, but that's not going to get us low enough. So I'm going to show you guys how to do the method. Now, it is a little complex, but honestly, if you just watch and pay attention, it is pretty easy. All right, so I've got mine bookmarked, but I'm going to show you guys how to get there. It's kind of a confusing thing because you don't go through the Steam, at least where my mods are. Wherever you put your mods, because I don't know if there's a right or wrong place, I'm going to be honest, but the place I put my mods works for me, so I'm not going to question it. Right click, or you just go manage, browse local files. And this will take you to the local files of Beamng. Now, obviously, there's a mods folder here. I think you could put mods here, but I do not put my mods here. But I go C drive, users, the name of my PC, app data, local, search for Beamng, Beamng.Drive, current, and then mods. And here are all of my mods right here. So I'm going to search up BMW, and you can see if it's the actual mod if you go in here and you select one of these, and you kind of recognize, oh, yo, I recognize this picture as one of the default logos, and yep, this is the car we are wanting today. Next thing you want to do is make a separate folder somewhere on your computer that you're going to keep all of some extra Beamng files for this thing. For me, I just have a folder on my desktop. It is called JBeams. That is what we're going to be editing today. We're going to be editing the JBeam. So I just have all of my edited JBeams in one folder. Next thing, you're going to want to go into the car, and you're going to want to find the JBeams. Some modders are really helpful, and they put the JBeams in a folder. And then some just put them kind of willy-nilly in here. But it's super easy to find. It doesn't take long. All you got to do is go down here until you see... Oh, right here. Suspension F and suspension R. That is the front and the rear suspension for the car. You're going to want to also get Notepad++. I think it also works with normal Notepad, but I use Notepad++. But anyways, you're going to want to double click this, and then it'll open up in Notepad++, and then you're going to want to save it to that new folder, wherever it is on your computer that you just created. So whatever you do, do not change the name of it. Keep the name the same and just save it to your folder. This is what we're going to be wanting to mess with here. So this is the front. So we get the camber, the caster, and the track offset. And then here are some digits that we're going to be changing right here. You got the default, the minimum, and then the maximum. That is our adjustments that we're going to be changing, and we're going to be changing the minimum and the maximum for all of the stuff. So obviously right now we're at the camber. We're going to want to change this to, I guess realistically you could change this to any increment, but I've always stuck to these increments and it's worked out good for me. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to do the minimum as 0.55. So instead of 0.9 being the camber, it is now 0.5. So we're removing the minimum amount of camber down, which is what we want so we get more negative camber. You can adjust the max camber too. I'm not going to be getting in positive camber, but I would just adjust this anyways. I'm not going to touch the caster. Nobody ever messes with that. Default, the minimum, and the maximum here. We're going to change the minimum track off. Actually, we're going to keep that because we don't want the wheels going in, but we want the wheels going out. I always change this to 0.07, but I have noticed that I need more wheel offset than 0.07. So I'm just going to change this to 0.1 and we'll be good. So obviously that is only the camber and the track offset. Next, we're going to go do the toe because we're going to need that. So what I do here is I do Control F and then I type in toe. And it takes me right down to the toe. Same thing, default, minimum, and maximum. We are going to be changing the minimum toe to 0.60 and then the max to about 1.50. Now, like I said, you can make these increments anything that you want, but these are the increments that are easiest to work with, in my opinion. So that is the toe now done. Now we're going to do the actual height for the front, and all you got to do is type in race. And here's the name of the coilovers. That is KW adjustable coilovers. That's the one we're going to be changing. You can obviously change this to anything, so I can make this poop fart poopy. And when I go into the game, it'll be poop fart poopy. Also, if you're in Notepad++ and you type in race and it doesn't automatically go to the race front strut, and it goes to like the sway bar or like the steering, just keep clicking enter until you go to strut, the race strut. We're going to be changing the default, the minimum, the maximum. We're going to be changing the minimum so we get this thing dumped on the floor to a -50, and then we're going to leave the max the same. If you do want a lifted truck or a vehicle to be lifted more than what you want, you can obviously change maximum increment. That is it for the front. Basically the same thing for the rear. We're going to go into the J-beams. We're going to open up the rear. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to save it. Now the rear is not laid out the same as the front. The camber, the toe, and the track offset are all in the same area, which is nice. We don't have to go all over. We're going to change the minimum and the maximum. We're going to change the minimum to 0.55 and the maximum to 1.25 for the camber. Going to go to the toe. We're going to change that to 0.60 for the minimum, and then for the maximum, we're going to do 1.25. And then the track offset, I'm going to do 0.1 as the max track offset. Next, we're going to go to race. And then for the rear, we do the spring, the race spring, or sometimes depends on the car. If the divorce setup in the rear where the strut and the spring are separate, you're gonna want to find the spring, and then if it's combined, it'll be just the strut. And you got the spring height right here. So obviously, I don't need to lift the car. I only need to lower it. So I'm just going to be changing the minimum to -0.50, and that is basically it. Next thing you want to do is go into the folder where you save your edited J-beams. You're going to want to select them, Control C, or you can just right click copy, and then you want to go to the car and paste them in here, Control V, and just copy and replace, copy and replace. And here we go. This is what I was hoping was not going to happen. It doesn't let me replace the files because the file is zipped. So we have to unzip the file, replace it, and then zip the file back up, which sometimes it actually lets me replace the files when the file is zipped, and then other times it doesn't. But this is super easy, just another annoying step you got to do. So what you're going to want to do is extract all. I'm just going to keep it in the same folder. I don't really care. All right, so once it is extracted, it is unzipped. It is now in here. So you're going to go to the same place, go to the J-beams, and you're going to want to take the two J-beams, copy, and then paste, replace two files in these destinations. Good. So now the files are replaced with the edited J-beams. Then what you're going to want to do is go into the unzipped file. If I select both of these, compress to zip, and then it'll zip it up real quick. Just give it a second. All right, so now it is done. I'm just going to rename it the original file name. I don't know if the actual file name itself matters, but I'm just going to play it safe and rename it the same exact thing that it is. So now this is the zip file. All right, so after you zip the file and change the name, what you're going to want to do, I guess I can just cut it or copy it and put it back in your mods folder. The original zipped mod file is still in here, so you're just going to replace that. And now you're good. Now you can delete the unzipped file. We are totally good. Or I guess if you really want to play it safe, you could probably put it in this J-beams folder that I had you create, but I'm just going to delete it anyways because whatever. But yeah, now our edited J-beam file is now in our mods folder and good to go. So now all you gotta do is hop back in Beamng and slam it. Let's test it out. If it did work properly, you should spawn into the game with the car, suspension, everything completely normal. There was one time, I don't know what I messed up, but I spawned in the game after doing a J-beam and my car had no suspension whatsoever. We're going to put the KW coilovers on the car. You do not need to swap the suspension like you do with the wide flap suspension because we edited the existing suspension already in here. But obviously it worked because this was max low for this car and we have a lot more to go. So I'm just going to slam this thing down to -0.1. The camber obviously is a little different. It's not measured in whatever this is. It's measured in whatever it's measured in right now. Obviously, bone stock sitting at no camber at all. Going to slam it and put camber, and here we go. Let me see. Let's see. Did it work? Oh, yeah. I'll tell you right now, that did work. Now, like I said, you can put the increments to whatever you want. Let the spring height, but the car will get maxed at whatever point, so you can't set it to the max suspension and expect it to work. The car is going to be sitting on the floor and you can't drive it. Like, you can't just go max camber and expect it to be whatever. You have to kind of mess with it a lot. You have to really mess with the fitment. And same with the offset. If you put the offset too high, the wheels will pop off. So you can't do max offset and whatnot either. That's why I originally put it at 0.07, because usually that would be max and then where the wheels would break after that. But I've noticed some cars a little bit better than others, so I put it to 0.1 just because, you know, some cars have a little bit of that extra wiggle room after 0.07. Anyways, same with the toe. That's why you don't want to do crazy increments. That's why I gave you guys the increments to use. So just use the increments that I gave you in today's video and do it for all of your JB, unless you feel the need to edit it otherwise. But obviously our fitment is completely whack. I'm gonna try to aim for about, I don't know, 12, somewhere between 12 and 15 degrees of camber all the way around. So I'm going to mess with this now. I guess this is gonna be a tutorial on how to get good fitment on your car too. Because I know damn well a lot of you guys do not know how to get good fitment, and it's ass. So I'm gonna help you guys out right now. So what I like to do first is I like to lower the car first to see where the camber and stuff is going to be at then, because if you do camber and then lower it, you're gonna get more camber after you lower the car. So I like to lower it first and then add the camber. So right now we're sitting at about 10 all the way around, but we do have stupid amount of toe in the rear. So obviously I went too much toe. So you really have to just play around with all of the numbers to get it right. And toe's pretty good. I like that. I usually get to the first digit about 0 and we're about -13 in the back. So that's perfect. I completely forgot to say this, but you guys probably saw me do it. You see it right now. Toggle on live wheel data so you guys can see the exact numbers and everything of your fitment. You're going to want that so you can get perfect and camber good. All right, so sometimes, depending on what wheels you use, you're gonna want some big wheels for these cars, because obviously you can't fit a weak wheel and get good fitment on here. I recommend D-Trox. D-Trox is free and it's a pretty good wheel pack. I like using JSD. I have JSD stance wheels right now. But obviously our fitment is buns right now, so I'm just yoinking the offset out. All right, so fitment is good, but we are clipping the caliper a little bit, so I'm gonna bring the face offset on. This specific mod, the face offset is adjustable too. Good W freaking 3-piece wheels. Also sometimes with the wheels, when you camber it in, it like hits on the body. So when you're bringing the offset out, it'll camber it in more, which we are at about -15 in the front right now, which I don't really want that. I want like matched 12. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but the wheel is hitting the body of the car. And so when I push the offset out, the wheel cambers in more. But look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to actually drive it. I kind of forgot, but look at this thing. This thing is laid out on the floor. Oh yeah, the car is in the ground. Wow, that ringing noise is annoying. I know I've said that there's no such thing as too low, but in this case our car is too low. Oh, we might be golden here, baby. Let's go. We might be golden. Oh yeah, we're still dragging the floor, but it's not as bad as before. The car still moves. So if you guys want to do the JB method, write down the increments or take a picture of them or something, but you want to use those same increments for every single JB car that you do, every single modded car that you JB. You want to keep those same increments because that just works on all the modded cars. It doesn't tweak them out, it doesn't flip them out, it's just perfect. It works really good. So, like, remember them in your head or freaking take a picture, or what I like to do is I pull up a JB that I've edited before and I just copy the, I just copy it off of there. Look at that, bro. Look at this thing. Big static, big tilt, F80 M3. Also, one last thing, if you guys want, in my Discord server, I have a Beamng mod sharing section in my Discord, so you guys can go in here, put your mods that you like in here, or find mods that you like. Just be careful, look at the links, check it, because you know you can't trust everybody. People just kind of put stuff in here, so just beware. If it has a virus, it's not my fault, okay? I probably should have somebody moderate these, but please don't put viruses in here. And obviously, this is just for mod sharing, so don't chat in here. If I see you having a conversation in here, I'm going to time you out. That's what the Beamng general is for. Talk in here or just talk in normal general chat. I also have Beamng media. If you guys like flicking up your cars and stuff like that, send them in here. I love going in here. I go in here every now and then. I'll look at all your guys' stuff that you guys have been doing. Some of you guys got some freaking rigs. I'll tell you that much right now. So take some pictures of your cars, post them in my Beamng media, post some mods that you want. Don't post viruses, please. But if you are downloading from here, be careful. Just look out for the links and stuff like that. Anyways, I appreciate every single one of you guys for watching today's video. Hope this did help you and help you figure out how to get some good old, you know, big static, big camber cars in Beamng.Drive. insane W method because, you know, the vanilla cars are pretty cool to drive around. Okay, this thing is still kind of too low. I'm going 5 miles an hour and I'm sliding all over the place. But yeah, I mean, vanilla cars are fun to drive around in Beamng.Drive, but obviously modded cars are way better, and a lot of them don't have modified J-beams. So this is just the method you got to use, the W modified J-beam method. But anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping. I appreciate every single one of you guys watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!